Hi folks, Dino Bob here with a special April update edition of the video channel. We've had a lot of changes with the new update in the way the game can play, and we're going to take a little bit of a look at that. Right now, you're seeing the motion of the new power elements. I'll go over each of them one by one. What you're seeing with the geothermal plant on the right there is all of the motion activity that will indicate damage to the facility that you need to pay attention to. So I've set some out in the desert here. That's the battery backup. That's the diesel power plant. Coming up to the solar panel. And out there is the small wind turbine. Out there is the large wind turbine. And the geothermal plant is all the way over to the right. And I spread them out like this so you can see their area of effect. Each of those elements gets a larger area effect as well as a larger power output. So that's something to keep in mind. You need to unlock everything but the battery and the power plant. So in the same order as was before, left to right, it's the battery backup, the diesel, the solar, and so on. So to test the power build-up, I started building parks. I did 3. This is the second one. This is the third one, all building out to get to just over into 2 stars. And this is the first one. This is the one I ended up building out further. You can see the diesel generators there out in the open. This is the back side of the entrance, which shows the first guest facilities, a couple of restrooms, a couple of vending machines. So let's head into the park, shall we? I'm using a lot of modular elements that I built for this park, as I have been doing in several of the parks I've been doing recently. We go through the ticket booth and into the first bit of the inside. You can see it's a lot more developed than you saw in that first shot. So this is just into 3 stars. Put buildings around those generators. Added another vending machine and built out the building to cover them. Well, cover the restrooms actually a little bit more, and the other building. So we've even got lights, which we need right now because it's kind of dark, which is not really the ideal. So shall we fix that? And boom, and it'll be daylight. Off we go. In front of us is one of the first animals that went in, which was Protoceratops. The other 2 were Dryosaurus and Pseudoceratops. This exhibit that we're going to go look at now currently has 2 animals in it. Psittacosaurus for that ever popular same time and region bonuses. You can see the Protoceratops wandering off there, and there is a Psittacosaurus asleep by the rock there. Yeah. The buildings are all basically just shells right now, simple space occupiers. Let's go back and to the left and take this swing through by the Coelophysis exhibit. The Coelophysis was a much later edition because the game needed more animals to get over those star humps, and we don't have a lot of 2-star animals. They are all in here right now. But that's going to be changing. In front of us is a guy standing there. Get out of the way, guy. Fine, we'll go through you. In front of us is the Dryosaurus habitat. I did build these to more simpler levels and then came back and expanded on them once the park was producing significant money. You can see the lab up in the right corner there. This has also been built out after I got to where I needed it for the 3-star animal that's in here. Obviously, the research was done to do that, and this is the Coelophysis exhibit, where there's one chowing down on the bugs. I hope the devs will eventually give us some smaller feed bins for these smaller animals. Their bins are dwarfing the animals, but it is what it is right now, and that's where we are. So off we go. Come out the other side of this byway for the Dryosaurus. And you're going to be catching glimpses of things that I haven't talked about yet, including escaped animals. Coelophysis is still a master escape artist. I put this statue in late, and you can see we've got a big crowd here jammed around it. I had wanted to incorporate some things that would let the guests interact with it, so that they can walk over that lower part and apparently through the upper part. Behind the statue on the right there is one of my amenities, small buildings, and that one has been tricked out to using the new change your module build wall theming, and that made it very easy to do so. This is the Dilophosaurus exhibit. He just disappeared into that care building, and I think I have just a female in here. Anyway, so the first carnivore and a 2-star animal, second 2-star animal, which helps build us toward those higher stars. We still got a lot of those artifacts of the juncture poles on the fences, something that will be fixed eventually. So one of the other things added to this update was the restaurant and store modules. They don't come with walls, so it's time, of course, to build stuff around them. And that's what we're looking at now. There's a circular plaza there that I need to add a welcome kiosk to. Up the stairs, with most people, there's a ramp over there to the left for handicapped access, and we will head into the restaurant building and into the module itself. You can see where the floor changes. That's the module. And I later discovered that these have some recolorable features. There's some neat stuff in here. The salad bar, the order counter. There are booths. There's the server's window from the kitchen. And we don't have any stuff to trick that out just yet, but maybe someday we will. You can see new menu boards for this one as well. And let's turn around. This was built with the intent of being a habitat overlook restaurant, and I brought in the regular modular tables in this patio area that's part of the structure, giving guests an open air chance to look out over the habitat. But it being a desert, it wouldn't in real life be necessarily as popular without some air conditioning, or at least fans, and I haven't put those in yet. So we're going to go down the back side here. This is an undeveloped part of the park, so we're going to move through it pretty quickly, but I wanted to connect a circular path for the guests. And we're going to come up to the Scelidosaurus habitat. He's a cute little thyreophorian, the only one in the game right now. I hope we get more. They tend to get ignored, maybe because they tend to hide, because we didn't see them from that one. So we're going to go around and look at the other viewpoint here. It's a Nasutoceratops exhibit on the left there. There's a walkover for that, which you may have noticed in the early build of the park. And as we get to this viewpoint, we do have a Scelidosaur wandering around. There's another one in there somewhere. Not seeing it right now. I like these guys. They have some neat animations and sounds. So back out, and we're going to go around to the Nasutoceratops exhibit. as you will see, the crowd has broken up a bit around that statue, which is nice. And we're going to turn to our right and go up the ramp to the walkover. So this is a walkover exhibit. And you can see animals to either side when they're there. At the moment, both of them are right over here on this side in the water. These are water loving animals. So I added more water around the exhibit. And this started me thinking about building out the water system in the park itself. So we're going to go down the other side, and as we do that, we drop into the water through the thing. Guests do that sometimes too, so I guess it's appropriate. But here you can see how the water is supporting the reeds and giving a lot of greenery to this section of the park. And here's the store. Like before, no shell at all, so I built a shell. The light for color is the module. The back wall is something I put together with some other elements. There's a lot of neat pieces in here, and while the devs are not keen about doing some of these as modules, I really wish they would. They'd be very, very useful for doing your own stores and even having stores with a different arrangement. You know, somebody's already built these things. It shouldn't be that hard to, you know, select a bunch of them out into a module. It would be great. There's lots of little cute things tucked away in here, including the sale signs. So do take a look at them, and all the various sauropod snacks. Cool stuff. I built the clothes racks that are outside. This open area has been reserved for an animal that is, we hope, coming soon. Certainly the devs have been teasing him, and that would be Velociraptor, which would share a region with the Protoceratops. Those guys go together, and there's a rather famous fossil to prove it. On the right is Archaeopteryx, a mini animal intended to get me over that last little bit of the star arm that you sometimes have to do to get into the next star rating. So as a necessary thing, this exhibit is not really tricked out or given its custom shell. Another amenities to help spread it out. The guests right now are stuck at 100% satisfaction, so you don't really have to worry about that much. But I'm trying to think ahead to what might work when things calm down. And another animal here is part of that get to that third star. And this is another Psittacosaurus, the so-called Taco Grande. And our flashlight lets us see one wandering around there. And there's another one going up the rocks. Good climbers, these guys. So you got to be careful how you build your habitats if you got a lot of modular rocks in there. So pass on through. Again, more development of the park intended to the left. We're going to go past the amenities block and head out to the unfinished last animal that's in the park so far. I wanted to get it in there to cement that 3-star rating. We're going to go over an unfinished bridge and see one of the new additions in this update, and that's the Paraceratherium sign. In this case, it is representing Juxia, who, despite the dark sign, is out there in the habitat in the gathering evening, so you may not be able to see them. Flashlight's not good enough really to light them up, but they're out there, and our guests are coming to see them, as you see the young woman who popped up there on the screen. So that's pretty much what's in here. It was a good build. The power system, really not liking the diesel generators. They're low power, low range, and they break a lot. And it's a pain in the butt to fix without staff. Anyway, so there's a kind of overview of the park, and that's pretty much it for today. This is Don and Bob saying take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and see you in the next video. Bye.